You know, I love to fish all over the country. I get to fish some of the greatest lakes there are, but I love Michigan. You know, to me, it's home. There's no place better than northern Michigan for smallmouth. My dad took me up here. I caught my first smallmouth up here. It's something that I still love to do. So any chance that I can, I'm gonna get up here because it's a special place. So this is something that a lot of people always used to hate, but I really like it. So I showed up at the boat ramp and there are mayflies everywhere. We're here at the end of June, it's northern Michigan, and a lot of people think that fishing's tough when the fly hatch is going on, but I can tell you everything in any body of water where this is going on is actually feeding. So it's a great time for topwater. You know, the fish are up cruising in the water column. Hopefully we can find some fish around a bunch of these mayflies, so they're gonna be someplace out here. Got it, little guy. Good start though, right off the bat. Saw those mayflies there. Just gotta find them. He ate it too. When the mayflies are hatching, there's nothing like a popper. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's not a big one, and he just absolutely swallowed that splash. There you go, buddy. So the mayflies basically live their whole life as a larvae down in the bottom of the lake. And once a year when they come out, you know, that wiggler comes out of the bottom, it slowly rises to the surface, it cracks open, the mayflies fly, they mate, they die, fall back to the water. I mean, they only live a day or two at most, and that's it. But when they are hatching, those bass are focused on them coming out of the bottom and up to the surface, and those mayflies on the water and the dead ones that land back out there again, it's just a great food source for every fish in the lake, and they gorge on them. There's a nice one. Gosh, he pounded it. I'm not seeing a bunch of mayflies on the top or anything, but I mean, I can promise you they are 100% focused on them. There's a lot of grass on this flat, and there's some reeds here. It's a fun way to catch them. And there's just nothing better than a popper when they're doing this. Strong. Come here. They don't, it's the beauty of the smallmouth, that they just don't give up. Oh, he's bigger than I thought. Just a chunk. I mean, look, he just got it too. Man. They love that subtle bloop. And that's what we designed this KVD Splash for. I mean, when you get calm conditions like this, that's where you want to throw that Finesse popper. Good one. Always behind a turtle. I saw a big snapping turtle there, and up here in this clear water, man, you just always throw any turtle I ever see. But he got it, a little chunker. You know, we saw a lot of mayflies this morning at the boat ramp, but I'm not seeing a lot out here in the water. You know, it's a window that happens for a couple of weeks up here in northern Michigan, and we're really kind of at the tail end of it. But you know, when it's happening, it's really good. And even after the fact, there was a big one right there, just came up. Not a big one, but lost one to cast before and then got that one. He got it too, finally. I mean, they're just so subtle in the way they're biting it too. I missed 3 or 4. And he swallowed it. The only time I don't tie a Palomar knot is on these poppers, because I want that knot to stick straight out. That's what really gives that bait that good walking action. So I just use a true, you know, an improved clinch knot. Quite a few wraps, probably 12 or 15 wraps. And that keeps that knot just sticking straight out the eye like that, you know, and it doesn't, it's real tight and it stays, it's a little bit longer. It helps keep that bait just working properly on the top. You want this bait, what's special about that KVD Splash is the way that it walks. I mean, when you plop it, it's that blooping sound, and it just sashays back and forth. That feather tail kind of opens and closes. It's just a super subtle bait. I mean, it is deadly. One of the best post-spawn baits you can ever throw is a finesse popper like this. Like that. God, pounded it. With this many mayflies, those smallmouth are definitely going to be looking up. No doubt. That's a nice one too. He couldn't handle that popper. I've seen a couple cruising around too, and you know, one of the things that I've also got is a Wacky rigged Ocho tied on, so that's also real good. You know, when they're looking up like that slow fall of a Wacky rig, and that popper, I thought he was bigger than that, but he is a good solid one. Just got it though. Isolated weed clump. Those flies are hatching. It's happening someplace. See if there's more on that same clump. God. Can you believe that? Got him. Come back. I did not do a good job on that one to begin with. I missed it twice. You never want to jerk until you feel them. And I went by them. We're trying to figure out what these fish are doing. That's a good one there. Where exactly they're hunting these mayflies, that one was on a little shallow transition line right there. And we've caught some out deep by the break. It's that time of year where there's fish kind of doing a little bit of everything, but he finally got it good. There you go, buddy. It's a good one. I mean, I missed him twice and he exploded on it. We went by him and he started chasing some little skipjacks. There we go. It's a good one. Starting to put it together a little bit. Maybe they're all on these shallow lines like this. They definitely are focused on topwater. We saw that one hit the surface. I mean, I went by it. Got it. two on the same thing. Not a big one, but another nice one. I mean, I just caught one, threw out ahead of the boat down that transition line, the shallow line, and he just, I mean, just came up and put it, sucked it in. Got him. Got him, big one too. That's why you always keep that Ocho handy. Look at them all swimming with it too, bunch more. A little wolf pack, they followed that topwater. Oh, look at him, he's puffing mayflies. Got him though. There we go. There's a solid one. You know, that's probably an early spawner, and they're already moving this on the edge of this break and just getting back in there to go after it. But we saw them, and again, you can't beat that Wacky Rig Ocho for those fish that are suspended like that. So, see, buddy. You know, when you're on the water, it's just important to pay close attention to everything that's happening in the nature. You know, how the fish are positioned, what's happening, if you're seeing topwater action. And that's what happens during the post-spawn, is those fish will get up like that. And I knew that, you know, a topwater and a Wacky Rig were gonna be a great bait. One of the things when I'm throwing a topwater is I always want to have a backup. I mean, really, anytime you're throwing anything that you need a backup bait for, it's hard to beat a Wacky Rigged Ocho. So, you know, I've got this, you know, Ocho tool right here. It's shaped just to fit it. It's got the O-rings already on there, and it's just, you know, just saves a lot of bait. So I'll just slide one of those O-rings off there in the middle of that Ocho. And, you know, I've got a GS5. It's one of my favorite, you know, rods for doing this. I can cast it a long way. It's got a nice soft tip. You know, I've got 8-pound fluorocarbon, and just to braid, I've got a #1 Mustad Titan X Wacky hook. Got the little ring on there, just put it around that ring. And you know, you can either fish it unweighted, you know, if you're fishing shallow water, or if it's a little bit deeper, you know, you can put a nail weight in there, just, you know, add a little bit to it, kind of make it a Nico style. But that right there is just something that's deadly. And right now with the flies hatching, they're looking up in the water column. So it's just getting that time of the day where they're really not chasing flies anymore. I can still catch them on a topwater some, but this is a great bait. You know, if one just follows, or you see one's cruising along, you can a lot of times pick them up with that Wacky Rigged Ocho. It's deadly. And that tool right there just makes it, just so you're not going through near as many baits. It just is something that I keep with me handy all the time. When you're seeing them like that, there's nothing like that Ocho. It's just getting to that time of the day where they're deeper, they're just not wanting to come all the way up and hit that topwater. But they don't mind that Ocho. Gosh, it's so much fun. That's why I really like this rod right here. It's a 7.2, but it's got a really soft tip. He's just not giving up. Gotcha. When they've only got that Nico hook in their mouth, man, it's just, they can't hardly throw it, but a good solid one. With these conditions, we just really don't have much clouds now, and had a fun time with the topwater for a while, but this is just such a deadly bait. They're so soft. Getting back underneath there. Ready to go for another one. These smallies are just, I can see a ton of bait on the surface, and they're just hovering, you know, that's just like those, after those flies. Just Just letting that Ocho go down to him. Not even. Man, he swallowed it too. See you, buddy. And that thing is still ready to go. He was a little bit deeper out on the outside edge of these, right outside the edge of this grass clump, right on the edge of the break. And there's just, I can see minnows, they're right to the surface. And we've been seeing some bass, and they're just kind of hovering up high. And that's why, you know, I was catching them on topwater earlier, and now we're just throwing this Ocho. The wind's gotten up, it just makes it really hard to throw that topwater. They're not seeing it and coming for it. So this right here is always a game changer. Got him. There's a good one. Oh yeah, big one. Big one. Gonna jump. There's one isolated weed clump out there. Oh, there's a whole bunch with him too. Look at that. Big ones too. He's trying to eat the Ocho off my line. Gosh. Yep, he's still down there. Should have had another rod ready. He didn't get it. I love that when it slides up the line like that. They just have nothing in their mouth to throw. Oh, come here. I thought he was bigger than that, but that's a good one. I mean, oh, that hook had him. Solid. See you, buddy. Rock bass. No, it's not. It's a big smallmouth. I couldn't catch up to him. Oh, look, he's just blowing huge piles of mayflies out. Just keeps puffing them. That's those ones that were biting topwater earlier. He just doesn't give up. Another solid one, man. They cannot handle the action of that wacky rigged Ocho. And you know, for years, we didn't know to put nail weights in them, and Nico rigging now is a mainstay on tour, so I do it a lot. I like it because it's as fast and as efficient, almost as drop shotting, yet you can fish it all the way through the water column. So right now, these fish are suspended a lot because they're eating these flies, and that's where this is just, it's a deadly technique. See, buddy? There's a good weed clump there. Let's see if there's some more. There we go. That's a good one. Oh yeah. Big one. I knew it, man. The graph is just loaded. I mean, get a shot of this graph right here too. It is floor to ceiling, just suspended bait right here. That's a good one right here. fat one. He could not handle it. I mean, I'm just amazed. I pulled up here and there is just floor to ceiling chunk right there. Bass on the graph. Solid one. Big belly. Mayflies. There you go, buddy. You know, today was a challenging day. The conditions changed a lot, but I'm in Michigan, I'm catching smallmouth, and man, I had a great day. Not a giant, but another good solid one right there. I mean, without a doubt, man, when you have conditions like this, when you got, you know, Mayfly Hatch going on, or you got bass suspended up in the water column, you know, for sure, you know, we started with a topwater, had some success with that. They really weren't blowing up or anything much like at all. But when we went to the Wacky rigged Ocho, it just changed everything. We just were, it's just those fish are looking up in the water column, the water's clear. Put a nail weight in that, and that is a deadly combination right there.